Week, the days of Minnesotans driving across the river into North Dakota for alcohol on Sunday will be over.
Sunday liquor store sales for Minnesota begin on July 2nd, and that's this Sunday. And many people say it's about time.
But Valley News Team's Cornelius Hucker shows you just because the law is going into effect doesn't mean all liquor stores will be open.
Opening up shop on Sunday was a no-brainer for this Moorhead liquor store.
The law passed, and as soon as we heard that, owners decided that we would open up and just keep it limited hours, but still be open and keep up with the competition with the other side of the river and with the other Minnesota stores.
That's how a lot of liquor stores are thinking in bigger cities in Minnesota, but don't expect some of your more rural stores to be open on Sunday. A quick drive across Highway 10 proves that.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good day.
Carly Olson runs the Lake Park liquor store, and because of their location, will not be open on Sundays.
Holly's going to be open on Sundays, and Audubon decided to be open on Sundays as well. So we're right between the middle of them, so they have the option to go between both places, and I find it, our employees would like to be with our families on Sundays, so that's important for that.
But things are a little different just east of them.
Being on Highway 10, which is obviously a thoroughfare, for the whole area, I think we definitely should do very well on Sundays.
Bob Spielman owns the Audubon liquor store. He says he's glad both sides of his business will soon be allowed to operate 7 days a week.
We're open already in the bar, and we're close to Detroit Lakes. We're close to all the lakes. Should be very good for us.
Agree or disagree, Sunday liquor sales in Minnesota is about to begin. Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Under the new law, liquor retailers can open their doors from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. Nothing is forcing store owners to open, and individual cities have the option of voting to limit those hours even further or maintain the prohibition on Sunday sales.
A scary night of rollerblading for a female in East Grand Forks late this afternoon. Police are looking for a man who might be involved in an assault. Officers were called around 4:45 about the assault on a bike path just south of the North End walking bridge. Police say a female was rollerblading when an unidentified man riding a bicycle crashed into her. The man approached her and attempted to help her up, but then pushed her back down before he dragged her into the tall grass and assaulted her. After a short struggle, he let the woman go and left the area. The male was described as about 50 to 60 years old, about 6 feet tall, with gray hair and a full gray beard, and was wearing a red shirt. If you have any information, please contact the East Grand Forks Police Department at 218-773-1104.
2 men have been sentenced after being pulled over with heroin and drug paraphernalia in their vehicle on the UND campus. The driver, Jesse Belgard of Grand Forks, didn't have a license, and the passenger, Jordan Vezana, also of Grand Forks, had a warrant out for his arrest. Grand Forks police brought in a canine unit to search the car. That's when they discovered the heroin and drug paraphernalia. Belgard was sentenced to probation and community service. Vezina will serve time behind bars for his charges.
A Fargo man has pleaded guilty to terrorizing and criminal mischief charges after a bomb threat that happened in Fargo back in March. Dustin DePiano was sentenced to 120 days in jail today. He also has to pay nearly $5,000 in restitution. The sentencing comes after an incident back in March where DePiano was arrested after a bomb scare and tire slashing spree in a South Fargo neighborhood near the 13th Avenue Hornbachers. DePiano left behind a suspicious backpack that led to a bomb squad response.
Tomorrow, fireworks go on sale outside the city limits of Fargo, and police have sent out a reminder that fireworks are illegal to possess and fire off inside city limits. To learn more about what the city ordinance says, visit the Fargo website.
When you hit the lock button on your car's key fob, you would think you're in the clear, right? But one Fargo family is warning others after their home surveillance cameras caught someone breaking into their trucks without even setting off the alarms or lights. They could be using a relay attack device. That's a piece of equipment taking the radio frequency signal from your key fob and using it to open the vehicle. And while the technology has been known for years, some people we talked with had no idea it was out there. If you know who this person is who broke into the trucks along Martin's Way in Fargo, call police.
A man wants answers after his mother's ashes went missing 4 months after Mary Mink died in a nursing home in Cavalier, North Dakota. Her remains are still lost in the mail. Her ashes were being sent to her son in Indiana. They made it as far as the post office in Grand Forks. When you look up the tracking number, it's listed as, and this is their words, not mine, dead male. USPS says it's keenly aware of the desire to find the ashes. However, Donald Mink wants someone held accountable.
And my biggest thing is, I don't see how nobody can be held accountable for this. Nobody's taking responsibility.
A civil lawsuit hangs in the balance. A Fargo attorney says they're evaluating the case.
Lutheran Social Services of North Dakota reports several of their recently scheduled cases of resettlement in Grand Forks are up in the air. This comes amidst the Supreme Court's ruling today upholding parts of President Donald Trump's travel ban. A spokesperson for LSS says at this point, most of their cases of resettling refugees are family tie cases. They add that's nearly all of their cases for Fargo, where people are rejoining family members already here. The agency says they expect to continue having arrivals too. The spokesperson says as for cases of individuals with no family ties coming from the countries mentioned in the travel ban, that remains to be seen.
After months of court battles, President Donald Trump scores the first big legal victory of his presidency after the U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way for his 90-day ban on travelers from 6 mostly Muslim nations.
The justices did put some limits on it, but the temporary ban could go into effect as soon as this week. Reporter Weijia Jiang has more.
How do you feel about the Supreme Court ruling today, Mr. President?
President Trump responded, "Good, thank you, very good," to a reporter asking for his reaction to the High Court's ruling. Earlier, he tweeted, "Very grateful for the 9-0 decision. We must keep America safe." In an unsigned opinion announced by Chief Justice John Roberts, the court said the interest in preserving national security is an urgent objective of the highest order. Now the federal government can deny visas to certain people from 6 majority Muslim countries. But the court also said people who have a bona fide relationship with a person or entity in the United States, such as a close family member, a position at an American company, or admission to a university, will be allowed to enter the country.
For somebody to be able to visit as a tourist, then they would have to establish some sort of U.S. connection, either to an individual that's here or to somebody who, or to some entity.
The ban is expected to take effect within 72 hours. The Department of Homeland Security said implementation will be done professionally with clear and sufficient public notice, particularly to potentially affected travelers. The decision gives the president his first legal victory after a series of setbacks from lower courts. They ruled the original ban amounted to unconstitutional religious discrimination against Muslims and exceeded the president's authority under federal law.
Although the High Court will hear arguments in October, the case could be resolved by then. The court directed the Trump administration to proceed promptly with its review of immigration vetting procedures while it kept the limited temporary ban in place.
If you drive in North Fargo, keep this in mind. 32nd Avenue North is closed to all traffic between 9th Street North and 10th Street North. Crews are repairing and replacing a deteriorating water line and this water main that runs under the road and leaked during the winter. While work is going on, the intersections at 9th and 10th Streets will remain open. And this project is expected to be done by July 8th.
Police in Rolla, North Dakota are working on an unusual theft case. They say a person or people stole 3 commercial coin-operated dryers and also damaged a commercial coin-operated washing machine at an apartment complex in Rolla. They posted several pictures on their Facebook page. If you have any information, message the Rolla Police Facebook page or call them 477-5623.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
All right, a pretty good start to the work week. A lot of sunshine, not much wind.